Hello, aspirants, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're decoding a highly significant development right in our own neighborhood, the recent India-Sri Lanka Economic Forum. Now, I want you to pay really close attention here, because this topic is absolutely crucial for your GS Paper 2 syllabus, specifically under India and its neighborhood relations.
What we're seeing right now is a major shift. We're moving way beyond the traditional exchange of primary goods and entering this new, sophisticated era of structural integration. Basically, India and Sri Lanka are expanding their economic ties into highly strategic sectors. Think logistics, pharmaceuticals, and digital public infrastructure. To break this down, we'll cover 5 key pillars today: strengthening economic ties, physical links and logistics, the pharmaceutical partnership, bridging digital borders, and upgrading the free trade agreement. Honestly, you should note this down right now, because this exact 5-point framework is perfect for structuring a high-scoring mains answer if you get a question on the future trajectory of Indo-Lincoln bilateral ties. Starting with Section 1, Strengthening Economic Ties, a New Paradigm. It's worth noting that the presence of key figures like High Commissioner Cologne and Senior Advisor Hulangamua really emphasizes the serious political backing this integration has at the absolute highest levels of government. Okay, let's dive right into our second pillar, physical links and logistics, building the infrastructure. Remember, out in the Indian Ocean region, robust supply chains are a strategic necessity, not just some economic convenience. Both nations clearly recognize that solid infrastructure is the backbone of regional self-reliance. During the forum, Krishan Balendra, the chairperson of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, pitched some very specific joint ventures. The heavy focus here is on warehousing and cold storage. Now, for your GS3 papers, you already know that cold storage is a chronic bottleneck in our supply chains, right? Mutual investments here are going to drastically reduce post-harvest losses and ease up trade friction. And this hardware integration enables something crucial: bidirectional transport. The grand vision is to seamlessly integrate Sri Lankan maritime shipping routes directly with India's massive rail network right at our ports. Strategically speaking, physical connectivity just obliterates trade barriers. When ships and trains are fully synchronized, the cost of doing business plummets, which makes both economies far more competitive on the global stage. Moving on to Section 3, the pharmaceutical partnership, securing regional health. You know, health diplomacy is a massive component of India's soft power in GS2. Well, Sri Lanka is now actively looking to source generic drugs from major Indian pharma clusters, places like Mumbai and Pune. They are essentially looking to India as the pharmacy of the world to secure their local health needs. Now, what's really fascinating here is an insight from Anurag Agarwal from the CII. He points out that the existing free trade agreement already allows zero or low duties on a ton of drug formulations. This is a perfect example of how existing economic treaties are being actively leveraged to stabilize regional health supply chains. But of course, tariffs aren't the only hurdle. To truly integrate, they've proposed a faster clearance mechanism. Step 1, share lists of registered pharma companies. Step 2, leverage the built-in trust of India's FDA-approved drugs. And Step 3, implement expedited regulatory clearance over in Sri Lanka. Aspirants, regulatory harmonization is a fantastic buzzword to drop in your UPSC interviews when discussing the removal of non-tariff barriers. It shows you understand trade mechanics beyond just basic custom duties. This brings us to Section 4. Bridging digital borders, fintech, and tourism. And this brilliantly illustrates our pivot toward India's massive soft power push in financial technology. Because while physical ports are important, digital ports are the future of trade. The Ceylon Chamber actually stated that exploring a UPI-like system could drastically reduce transaction costs for everyone, from tourists to everyday traders. Exporting our digital public infrastructure like this facilitates seamless cross-border commerce. It literally connects the grassroots economies of both nations instantly. And this digital bridge is all about reciprocal exchange. Indian fintech firms are being invited to pilot services in major Sri Lankan cities like Colombo and Kandy. In return, travel circuits now include electronic visas on arrival for Sri Lankans landing in Mumbai. It just proves that modern diplomacy is a two-way street. It's this perfect blend of technology exchange and travel facilitation. Finally, Section 5, upgrading the FTA, the road ahead. We absolutely have to look at the formal institutional framework governing all of this. Treaties have to evolve, and the India-Sri Lanka FTA is gearing up for its next big phase. Over 4,000 That is the massive number of products already covered by the existing FTA. So, the crucial takeaway here is that this agreement is now being reviewed to add highly critical items, things like pharmaceutical raw materials and logistics equipment. We are expanding from trading simple goods to sharing strategic, capacity building materials. So, what's the timeline? According to Sharon Fernando from the Salon Chamber, we're moving from our present day forum discussions to the ongoing sharing of company lists. And definitely mark your calendars for this one. A joint working group on trade facilitation is set to meet in August 2026. Keep that date on your radar, as it's going to generate some very important current affairs fodder for both your prelims and mains. We'll wrap up today's explainer with a thought-provoking question for your mains preparation. As physical logistics and digital borders merge, what exactly is the future of South Asian economic integration? I highly encourage you to use today's specific examples, from pharma harmonization to cross-border fintech, to build compelling evidence-based arguments in your essays. Keep studying hard, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.